hari ini I have made an application dalam mahkamah supaya program yang berjudul Man on the Run di dalam Netflix dikeluarkan daripada program Netflix sekurang-kurangnya untuk Malaysia, atas sebab-sebab bahawa program ini menghina mahkamah. It is contemptuous, and also because it is contemptuous by way of being sub judice. Yeah. Now, why is it sub judice? I've already explained in detail in court. But among some of the reason is this, like for instance, the program suggests that Datuk Seri Najib seems to be either the center or Jolo is the center in a concentric circles of knowledge of the entire fraudulent scheme. Now, that is something which this court must decide, not anybody else. And then they say that Jolo stole 1 MDB money. Politicians and others aided and abetted him, suggesting that Datuk Seri Najib, in fact, is involved. Now, and then we have even people like Tommy Thomas, the former Attorney General. He suggested rather unfairly. He says this entire scheme was a decision between Najib and Jolo. Yeah, and then we have people like the ambassador of the ex-ambassador of United States in Malaysia by the name of John Mallott, who doesn't seem to know his facts, but somehow or other he still make comments. He seemed to suggest that Datuk Seri Najib was the chairman of 1 MDB. You and I know that's not correct. Yeah, the chairman is always the chairman of the board of directors. Yeah, but Datuk Seri Najib was only the chairman of board of advisors, which has got no executive power, in fact, no power whatsoever. Okay? So he suggested that because he's the chairman of 1 MDB, and because he was Minister of Finance, and also the Prime Minister, there is no check and balance because he can decide anything on 1 MDB, which is also not true. Yeah? Then we have others. For instance, we also have you see, these personalities speaks at different times of the program. Yeah, it is snapshots. Tommy Thomas again say that in this entire scheme, he is not sure who is the puppet master or the puppeteer and who is the puppet who carried out the order in this particular scheme to defraud the Malaysian people. Now, Claire Rocastle was even worse. She knew, because by the time she made this statement, it would have been 2022. Yeah? By that time, she knew that the killers of, what's the name of the DPP, Kevin Morris, they were already charged and convicted in the High Court. And we know that the reasons why he was killed was because of another connected case in relation to the first accused there. And yet she said that Datuk Seri Najib was desperate. Anybody who goes against him, and she suggested that this is the way Najib will treat you. Kevin Morris was stopped in the middle of the road. The next thing, they found his car burned, and finally he was dead in a drum of cement. Now, that is, completely an insane statement for someone like Rocastle to say that, because we know it is obviously wrong. Now, you are reminded that Tommy Thomas seems to suggest, and the subject matter of another defamation suit which is ongoing, he seemed to suggest that our client may be involved in the Altantuya punya murder. So, from a simple 1 MDB case, Datuk Seri Najib is now being insinuated to be a serial killer. Yeah, many things seem to be up against him. Yeah, and then he says that there is another character who's an American with the FBI by the name of Chuck O'Neill, who makes statement like the fraud in the 1MDB seem to have transpired because it is a collaboration of Jolo and Datuk Seri Najib as the Prime Minister. And he says what happened was, dia kata fraud, yes, the fraud was because of collaboration, ni perkataan dia, between Jolo and Datuk Seri Najib sebagai Perdana Menteri. Dan dia kata to funnel money out of 1MDB. Yang ni perkataan daripada Chuck O'Neill ni adalah salah satu daripada dua FBI agent or CIA agent that came here. Mereka berada di sini dan they assisted kita punya MACC, umpamanya the MACC punya chief Tan Sri Kasim and so on. Yeah. And then there are various other things, like for instance dia orang katakan Tan Sri Gani kena tangkap, rumah dia pun dicerobohi oleh pihak polis atau MACC. But kita tahu benda ni semua tak berlaku langsung, ya. So it is not true. And some other suggestion, like for instance umpamanya dia katakan Datuk Seri Najib adalah orang yang ditempatkan di atas sebagai ikon di atas satu institusi yang sudah sedia korup. Jadi Datuk Seri Najib lah yang menjadi penghulu dalam establishment yang sedemikian. So we know it is all not correct. Jadi saya ambil bantahan itu, saya bagi tahu kepada mahkamah supaya pihak pendakwa raya dapat mengambil cadangan saya dan membawa cadangan saya ini jumpa dengan Peguam Negara supaya Peguam Negara dapat membuat nasihat kepada MC ataupun minister atau menteri dalam negeri supaya tindakan yang sewajarnya dapat diambil, iaitu mengeluarkan program Man on the Run ini sekurang-kurangnya daripada Netflix yang ditayangkan di Malaysia.
Okay. Client is also in the documentary.
Yes.
An interview. Did he know of the outcome of the?
No, he didn't know. He, good question. Pada permulaannya, Datuk Seri Najib telah pun didampingi oleh dua orang directors. Salah seorang director ini ialah Casing Michael Kim. Dia sekarang ni, Cassius Michael Kim. Dia ni sekarang hanya seorang saja director dalam program ni. Sebab yang lagi satu tu saya lupa nama dia. Kononnya telah tak begitu setuju dengan cara program ini dikendalikan. Beliau telah meninggalkan program tersebut. Sorry?
Datuk Seri Najib dah tengok dokumentari.
No, he is in the prison. Mana nak tengok? Tak dapat tengok. Because it's a 2 hours program and he doesn't have that privilege. Jadi he was misled. Ya, dia diberitahu bahawa program ini hanyalah berkenaan dengan Jolo, nothing to do with him. Jadi kita nampak sangatlah typical American program. They will mislead you, cerita yang tak betul. Tetapi apa yang Datuk Seri Najib bercakap dalam program itu semuanya 100% benar. I perhati, tengok program tu, apa yang Datuk Seri Najib kata, kita boleh justify. Okay? Jadi beliau, there was a misleading statement by them.
But the other interviewers like Tony Hua and I think current Prime Minister also.
Ya, current Prime Minister ada statement-statement yang dia buat yang agak tak menyenangkan. Sebab tanpa bukti-bukti. Dan kes ini sedang berjalan. So you must not make statement lah. Similarly, Tony Pua as expected. You know, every time Tony Pua say something, there's a lot of reaction against it. People just do not like to hear his voice. Tetapi Tony Pua was not was not fair, tak adil dalam dia punya statement. Umpamanya dia hampir-hampir mencaci Datin Sri Rosmah sebagai seorang narsisistik dan sebagainya, sebagai korup dan sebagainya. So jadi this sort of statement cannot be accommodated sebab kes ni masih lagi berjalan. We haven't even closed the prosecution case. Jadi kalau Izham Jalil statement, such a simple statement, you want to take him to court for contempt, what about this? This is ridiculous. Jadi kita telah pun membuat keputusan berdasarkan arahan daripada anak Guam. Besar kemungkinan kita akan ambil tindakan terhadap Tommy Thomas satu, Claire Rocastle lagi satu. Dua orang ni saya hampir-hampir pasti tindakan akan diambil. Sama ada contempt in the case of Rocastle sebab dia suggest yang Datuk Seri Najib terlibat dalam pembunuhan Kevin Morris is a complete contempt by itself. It's a complete defamation apart from it being a contempt.
Tapi Tan Sri, why did you bring it up now? Because the documentary was already screened in cinema last year, kan, in October. Did you only get to know about it recently?
Yeah, because it is Netflix. Because you know why they went into Netflix? Nobody go to the cinema to see a documentary. It's very boring, kan? Jadi nobody siapa pun tak begitu masuk di panggung wayang. Jadi dia orang ambil tindakan alternatif, masukkan dalam Netflix. Baru saya tahu.
Now it's on everybody's house, living room.
Yeah.
What about your contempt against the media that you said last Friday?
It is being drafted.
Okay.
It is being drafted. Only selected media, not all. But we send the letter first. If they give me a good answer, we may not proceed. It depends.